speed right now.
Okay.
But like at the same time, it's still a dangerous position. This Iron Thorns.
This is really
It's
weird.
Misty Seed.
And now it's time for the moment I've been waiting for. A draft match versus Dozen. Dozen was the one who invited me to the league, and he's basically been an online friend from my Smash Ultimate tournament days. He makes an excellent tournament organizer, and a great variety streamer. Now I finally get to reconnect with him through a draft match. So looking at his team, funnily enough, he sniped my second and third picks, Grimmsnarl and Spectrier. Another very scary Spectrier match. He even has many options to support it, such as Gale Wings, Tailwind, Talonflame, status support with Speedy Wisps, Compound Eyes Sleep Powder, and Prankster T-Wave. Wochien is the final nail in the support squad, as it's Dozen's most reliable way to power down my Urshifu, as well as my other physical haymakers, which I want to bring. Sorok can also be scary, as I've seen how Dozen utilizes it in his previous matches to make it look broken. Azalf is also a possible offensive threat, and one thing that shouldn't be overlooked is the Iron Treads, which goes pretty berserk on my team. But other than that, Dozen's team is mostly special attackers, and pretty weak to dark types, which I have a couple. So the focus of my team is to avoid getting powered down, and to make sure I don't crumple to Terra Treads and Spectrier. Urshifu is first, pretty much a given with how hard it is for Dozen to survive its hits. Basically the same set as last time, Surging Strikes, crits through Reflect, and deals with the Treads and Spectrier. CC is for water resists, and Jet is to handle T-Flame, Spectrier, and Vivillon. If I'm losing the speed control war. Now Terra Water is to help me spam Surging and Jet more, and it gives me some defensive utility by removing my Fairy and Flying weakness. Thorns is my next pick. Its typing is actually solid enough to not get O-code by anything bar a Treads EQ. Rock Slide spam is also really good here for Talonflame and Vivillon. EQ is for Treads, and Terra Blast Fairy gives me a way to muscle through Grimmsnarl and Goodra. Max attack with just enough speed to outspeed Timid Spectrier once I'm boosted. As you see, I have Misty Seed, and that's because I wanted an AV Thorns with the ability to protect. And with Protect and Misty Seed, I can easily trigger it with Misty Terrain, and Misty Terrain is an integral part of my strategy anyway, since it stops all the status spreading that Dozen is capable of doing. I considered using Substitute with Terra Fire to take advantage of some of Dozen's mons, like Goodra and Wochien, but I decided I needed Protect plus standard Terra Fairy because my team has a volatile ground weakness. Next is Klefki. It makes a return with a hacks-free moveset. Misty Terrain is the star of this pure support set, as I can get it up before Talonflame's Wisp to protect my physical attackers. Misty Terrain also triggers Misty Seed and sets up for another combo I'll discuss in the next mon. Trick Room is my speed control option because his best hitters and Wisp support outspeed Shifu. It also allows my slower physical attackers to pretty much get initiative if I'm scared of a Tailwind War. I considered T-Wave for another speed control option, but that will be covered in the next mon. Instead, I have Light Screen to soften hits from Spectrier. Gleam makes me not entirely passive, and Fairy coverage works well versus Dozen's team. So the EVs make sure that Klefki never dies to Life Orb Earthquake from Treads, though it might just be booster energy to outspeed my booster Shocks, which I've brought twice in a row. The rest is dumped into special defense for the rest of Dozen's team. Thankfully, Klefki naturally outspeeds Grim, even with a minus speed nature, but I'm running Mental Herb for taunt anyway, since support is crucial. If Mental Herb is gone, I have the emergency Dark Terra to become immune to Grim's taunt, prevent it from switching with Parting Shot, and to take a hit from Spectrier. Tornado's Therian makes its first appearance and is basically an offensive support set. Dark Pulse is first to really pressure Spectrier to Terra, and it is also great against Azelf, H. Zarork, and Gardecuno. Tailwind is my other speed control, and Swagger is for that Misty Terrain combo I mentioned earlier. With Terrain up, I get to give any of my 3 physical attackers +2 with no confusion. Bleak Wind Storm is Thorns' signature move. It's a nice spread filler move that keeps my damage threatening, especially versus Wo-Chien, should Thorn have nothing else to do. The speed drop also aids Urshifu and Dark Pulse's flinch chance. The speed EVs creep Azelf, while Wide Lens helps with Swagger and Bleak Wind. Funnily enough, in my first test run, Swagger still missed, but hopefully that won't happen. Terra Dark blocks Grimm's Prankster, T-Wave, and Parting Shot, while allowing me once again to stomach a hit from Spectrier. It also has the bonus of powering up Dark Pulse. I did consider a physical attacker with Crunch to take advantage of Spectrier's frail physical defense, but Wo-Chien's ability pretty much shot that idea down. Salazzle is here because more ways to threaten Wo-Chien and Treads are greatly appreciated. Fake Out and Encore support is great for countering Dozen support mons, and Heat Wave is my 4th spread move. It'll prove helpful for Vivillon, Treads, and Wo-Chien. I'm running lots of spread moves this time, and honestly I don't see why not, because I don't see a wide guard user since Dozen dropped Stonejourner in week 2. Bisharp was originally going to be Slowbro for a second Trick Room user, but I decided if I'm really scared of Spectrier, I actually need a Ghost switch-in. A pretty standard moveset, with Assurance working really well with my team outside of Trick Room, and comboing well with Klefki in Trick Room. I didn't want to invest too much into speed, so I just made it so that under Tailwind I can outspeed Azelf and modest Spectrier. Minimal attack investment because I was content with wailing on the opposition with medium-powered attacks. Thorn could buff the damage if needed. Most of the investment went into special defense, with Eviolite making Bisharp very sturdy. Terra Flying gives me an emergency out from Treads, and now onwards to the battle. Okay, so all of that prep, and no Spectrier, not even Zarork. Goodra was an unexpected bring, and Vivillon was slightly unexpected, but looking at their team, it seems that as long as Treads is removed, my Thorns can kind of just solo, so that will be the plan. I decide to lead with Salazzle, since it leads well versus half his team, and Klefki can use that Fake Out support to start setting up. So it was a decent lead, though this is a free Earthquake that's gonna hurt. And with Booster, Treads outspeed Salazzle. So the plan is to fake out Talonflame with Gale Wings, then set up, but that Quick Guard was pretty interesting. I didn't think much of it. At least I have Trick Room now. There I get to set up more things for Iron Thorns, but the Quick Guard did end up mattering. As you see, now it got to keep its priority Brave Bird. So because of that, I get a double KO on my own Mons without doing any damage back. But now my 2 Mons get to move first. So this is not a bad position for me. I Terra Water here, and I protect with Thorns, just in case Iron Treads Terra Waters. That's the main Terra I was watching out for. He could Terra Water to survive my Urshifu, and then just destroy my Thorns, which is my win condition. I don't want that happening. But it doesn't Terra, so Treads goes down. And Talonflame Wisps, and it didn't matter that it missed because there was misty terrain. So Wo-Chien comes out. It's likely that it'll Terra Fairy, so I Surging Strikes into Woe and Rock Slide into both. Sadly, I forgot that Wo-Chien outspeeds in Trick Room, so it just gets a huge Leaf Storm and Oko's Urshifu. A bit careless, but I didn't expect Wo-Chien to be capable of landing an Oko. On the bright side, Rock Slide does connect on both. And now my +1 Spadef Thorns is versing a Wo-Chien that's at -2 and a Vivillon. So this is still doable. I still have Misty Terrain to block Sleep Powder and 1 turn of Trick Room. So all I can do here is just spam Rock Slide and tank everything. Vivillon goes for the setup because Trick Room's about to end. And there's the Terra fighting, which does too much damage to me. And yep, that's game 1 goes to Dozen. So Urshifu and Thorns were doing really well. The issue was that I lost half of my team way too early. So I had to make adjustments to that lead. So game 2, I lead with Urshifu and Klefki. And if it's the same lead, Urshifu can Terra Water to avoid dying turn 1. And Klefki can Prankster Misty to block the Wisp. But as you see, it wasn't the same lead. In fact, it was a scary Wo-Chien. I could not keep Shifu out as Grimmsnarl has a million ways to aid Wo-Chien in killing it. So I swapped it to Torn to take the Leaf Storm. And attack with Klefki for some needed chip. The Fake Tears and Giga Drain combo comes out, which is a pretty cool one. Torn will probably fall to a Fake Tears plus Dark Pulse combo. So I decide to get up Light Screen with Keys and get some good damage in with Torn. We connect both, but it seems that the Light Screen was not enough because Grimmsnarl attacked on the physical side. So now I can protect with Urshifu to see how Dozen reacts, and get even more chip with Klefki. And Dozen did react. He Terra'd his Wo-Chien. And he went all in on attacking my Urshifu, so that was a really good protect. And now, I just Terra Water to confirm the kill on Wo-Chien. And here I Trick Room up because, yes, Wo-Chien should have been dead when Trick Room gets set up. And this allows me to outspeed the Treads. So Grimmsnarl reveals Fake Out. And I just get to Oko the Treads. Over here, I Misty Terrain to prevent any possible Thunder Wave gimmicks. And he tries to Quiver Dance here, but unfortunately it's game. I was able to ignore the Grimmsnarl with Urshifu because I wasn't afraid of a Spirit Break now that I'm no longer weak to Fairy. So I saved Grimmsnarl for last, and game 2 goes to me. A convincing 3-0 win. Thorns didn't even need to come out. Now for game 3, I leave the same, but now Thorns and Bisharp is in the back. So no Torn. This is because I valued Bisharp's staying power over Tornadus, He still deals with Wo-Chien, but comes with Sucker Punch and Fake Out immunity, and the ability to utilize Trick Room. Sadly, that means I couldn't get to pull off the Swagger combo that I've been like trying to do, but oh well. The Grimmsnarl fakes out the Klefki. I couldn't get anything, but that's okay. I just get some big damage on Grimmsnarl. Goodra shouldn't be capable of OHKOing me, but it does a Thunderbolt and OHKOs me anyway. Very careless of me. I thought Goodra was just gonna like do some at least 90% with Draco or something, but that would have been an OHKO anyway. It has Life Orb, which is very interesting. So now I can set up screens. Grimmsnarl can't do anything, and with screens and Spadef Bisharp, Goodra can't do anything. So Taunt does come out, and thankfully I have Mental Herb. And here I just focus on the Goodra because that is a hard hitter, and Grimmsnarl is the non-issue. Sadly, since I'm not Defiant, I trigger Gooey but don't get a speed boost, don't get an attack boost. Here I target the Grimmsnarl because, yeah, it's a free kill. Oh no, wait. No, I remember why. Because he revealed Taunt. I wanted to kill it before he taunts again. Obviously that's impossible because of priority taunt, but it was worth a try. Now Vivillon comes here. Remember, it's Terra fighting, so this is a little telegraphed, but he doesn't know my Terra, so now it's the 50-50 of should I Terra or not, with the advantage going to me since he doesn't know my Terra, so I will Terra. Surely enough, the Terra works out. I stomach the Terra Blast. And Dozen goes for a mid-ground Draco, which is very strong, but Spadef Bisharp for the win. And because of that, we get to double target the Vivillon, break through its sash, and it all comes down to Wo-Chien. I protect Bisharp here to scout for the Goodra protect. Wait, I take that back. Sorry, this is unscripted. I protected here because I wanted Dazzling Gleam to finish off Goodra. Because obviously, Goodra outspeeds. I could Sucker, but Dazzling Gleam is way safer. I could turn it into a 2v1 much faster that way, but yeah, it didn't work out. But thankfully, Goodra did end up revealing Protect, which means now it's forced to attack. And since it's Life Orb, I bet it's Protect 3 attacks. Now that's a free Sucker Punch. The light screen, I derped over there. I forgot light screen was still on. Now I can light screen. And pretty much here, it's Wo-Chien trying to 3v1 me, but it's not gonna work out, even with all the luck in the world, because Klefki is just gonna 1v1 it by itself. So over here, we end it with a Rock Slide Flinch into Dazzling Gleam. 2-1 victory for me. Very well played on Dozen. Not bringing any Ghost type mons or anything weak to Dark really was very surprising for me. I prepared so much for Spectrier and it didn't come out. Yeah. So far, all of my games have been going to Game 3. This is a really intense league. But one thing to note, my singles brain kept thinking it was Compound-Eyes Vivillon with Sleep Powder and Hurricane. Turns out, Vivillon also has an ability, Friend Guard. So, yeah, it was revealed. Dozen later showed that it was Friend Guard after the match. He also showed that after the match, the Wo-Chien was Assault Vest. So that was like one of the especially defensive Wo-Chien of all time. So well played. Next week, I'm going to be fighting the champion of the previous season. though. It is time for some rain.